I spent one night at my boyfriend's apartment and realized I was never actually invited into his life. We had been dating for 5 months. On paper, he was perfect. Stable job, early riser, meal preps every Sunday, always talking about building a future. He made it sound like I was part of that future too. I believed him. The first weird thing was his schedule. Everything had a slot. Gym at 6 a.m., work at 8, dinner at 7. Even our conversations felt scheduled. If I called outside his free time, he'd text, "Can this wait?" But if he called me, I was expected to pick up immediately. Still, I adjusted. I told myself he was disciplined, not controlling. One Friday, he asked me to stay over. Said he wanted to spend real time together. I got excited. I brought my overnight bag, even baked cookies, because he once mentioned liking homemade stuff. When I got there, he barely noticed. He gave me a quick hug, pointed to the couch, and said, "I just need to finish something real quick." That real quick turned into an hour. Then, 2. He was in his room with the door half closed, typing away. I sat there holding a container of cookies that went from warm to cold. Around 10:30 p.m., he finally came out, stretched like he'd just completed something heroic, and said, "All right, I'm free now." No apology, nothing. We watched something for maybe 20 minutes before he checked his watch and said he needed to sleep because his routine mattered. I laughed a little because I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He handed me a spare t-shirt, pointed to the bathroom and said, "Lights out by 11:30. That was the moment something didn't feel right. Not angry, not sad, just off. The next morning was worse. I woke up alone. He had already gone to the gym. No note, no message, just an empty apartment, and my cold cookies still on the counter. When he came back, he acted like everything was normal. Asked if I slept well. Didn't acknowledge the fact that he left me there like I was furniture. So I tried something. I said, "Let's go get breakfast together." He checked his watch again. I usually don't eat out on Saturdays. Usually, that word stuck. I looked around his apartment. Everything was neat, controlled, predictable, and I realized something uncomfortable. There was no space for me here. Not physically, not emotionally. I wasn't part of his life. I was something he tried to fit into the gaps of his routine, and only when it was convenient. So I did the only thing that made sense. I grabbed my bag and said I was heading out. He looked confused. Already? I nodded. Then I did something I'd never done before. I didn't explain. I didn't argue. I didn't ask him to understand. I just said, "I don't think you actually want a girlfriend. I think you want a schedule that talks back sometimes." He blinked like he didn't even process it. I left the cookies on the counter. Didn't say goodbye. He didn't text me that day or the next. And for the first time in months, I realized something. It's not loud fights or big betrayals that end things. Sometimes it's the quiet realization that you were never really there to begin with. If you liked this story, please let me know in the comments so I can improve my future stories. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video. It really motivates me.